Good morning, family. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. You would think, late as you is, you'd have had that together.
They did that at the store. They did that at the store, KC, but because my old phone was so old, everything transferred over, but it didn't transfer over and turn on.
You see me anyway.
Nobody can see you. Dang, we gotta do an introduction.
One player, he was like, man, one player said the bishop, he said the bishop never noticed him. And he said the bishop, he said, man, paint your car bright or something, man, do something spectacular. Then I might notice you. Yeah, so do something to make me notice you. You know what I'm saying?
Hello, Flint. Good morning. My name is Jordan Sheridan. I am a journalist, not from Michigan, but I feel like I'm here more than my own home state. And I've been reporting on the Flint water crisis.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say that the actions from the police department in the last 2 days, I'm fully condemning the actions that have taken place.
Good morning, family. Good morning. Y'all know who y'all tapping in with this morning. With Spacely and whose phone is that? Oh, that's my phone.
That's yours.
Yeah, my bad. I was finna get in here and just go.
I turned all the noises off of mine. I was like, no.
Here just then lost my mind. What's up, family, this morning?
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. I see my brother be loud and tapped in. Good morning, good brother. I'm seeing Green Eyes 15 in the building. Wanda Jones Gaddis in the building. What's up, No Games in the building. I got Wanda Jones Gaddis. The Gaddis clan is here. Feel it for life. Good morning. Asaya Aquil, y'all know that's AKA Mama Aquil in the building. Francine Johnson, good morning, beautiful. Good morning. I ain't going. We going somewhere. I'm getting up out of Flint, baby. What it do, the beautiful Jazzy Melanie? Good morning. Good morning. My brother Elliot, you might be called up on your number might be getting called tomorrow, man. As soon as I get these out the way, I'll be telling you I might need you in the morning. We might need you tomorrow. Who knows? But stay tuned, because y'all gonna be rocking with me and Trevor probably all week. Good morning, Deborah Luna. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning. And we got Pastor Nicholas J. Gaddis. Good morning. Avis Hopkins. Good morning. Terry Nixon, the beautiful Terry Nixon's. Good morning. And we got Deborah O'Neill tapping in from the D. What it do is Hump Wednesday. Ain't we in Wednesday?
Maybe.
Yeah, we Wednesdays. Carolyn Hendricks, the lovely Carolyn Hendricks. What's up, Taz Montana 313 from the D. Good morning, Pop Gaddis. Javier Jones. David B. What it do? And we got Blakey Gaddis. We got the whole Gladys Cans. I sure will. Y'all know Winters is under the weather, family. I think she's got COVID. She says she don't, so she's not going to be in today, so y'all keep her in her prayers. That's from all that Taco Bell she's been eating. Cassandra Scott, good morning. Mr. Thomas, y'all, serious note, prayers to the family out there in Texas, man. It's always, when you lose, that's a tragedy that went down out there. Consuela Phillips, good morning, tapping in from the 706. Abundant Faith, good morning. Y'all tell them, y'all, you see what the world, hit that like button, man. Damn, smash it if you have to. Grace and peace, thank you for tapping in from Georgia.
Thanks for reminding me. I have to go and like it myself.
What it do? Allie Nicole Gaddis Rivers in the building, and she coming in from Miami. This is my West Coast family right here. Marcia A. Tarver, thank you for tapping in. Erica Gaddis, this some more West Coast love coming in. Good morning, Erica Gaddis. We got my good brother Lumi tapping in from Broward County, the 954, in case y'all don't know. Great day to be great, and we're going to be great today. Yolanda Corbett, but I call her Yogi G, if you don't know. That's the DC fam. Good morning, good morning. Raphael Bird, okay, my Mississippi family tapping in. What it do? Good morning, and tell them to hit that like button. Yeah, gonna come in. I know you sick. You know that Taco Bell. You hear too much of that fire sauce. Taco Bell Gate. Alabama in the building. Alabama's present showed is. You heard. And Lumi says South Florida, Broward County, checking in the 954 at your door. Tell them it ain't a stick up, but we coming to give you the knowledge. You heard. Shooting a blank T. My 7th Wardian. Thank you for tapping in. Damn, okay. We got Felicia Martinez. What it do? I'm waiting on my roll call. Isaiah Thomas tapping in. Good morning. Good morning. Latrice Green. Thank you for tapping in. You heard. Thank you for tapping in. We finna get this day started in a minute. Come on, y'all smash that like button as I'm waiting for the rest of the family to get here. Right now, down. You know, we finna do it the best way and only way we can do it because the show must go on.
We could really use some more subscribers. So this month we've gone up by 129 in the past 9 days. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for tapping in. Tapping in. As y'all can see, that's the motto. Mickey voted for Kamala. Sick of this. I'm sick of this.
But you're still the reason she lost, apparently.
And that's why I'm bagging out of politics. That's why I'm bagging out of politics right there. They said I took it down, but I got here come the person. J.W. Leonard. Hey, thank you for tapping in. Thank you for tapping in. Donnell Meredith, what it do? Tasha Lynn, good morning. Good morning. Queen Anifa, good morning. And then we got Big Mama Gaddis. She said she also helped start the Gaddis clan. And that's what I'm saying. I can't wait I'm waiting on the rest of the clans to come on in. Now, it ain't just got to be the Gaddis clan.
You know how reading is hard? For a second, I thought she was saying we're from Chicago. I'm like, no. Yeah, reading is hard.
Felicia, I gotta wait on my sponsor. Who's sponsoring this today? I'm waiting on that sponsorship. You know, we got Taylor and tapped in. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I'm already out of coffee.
And y'all know that, I gotta get to what I got to do best. You know what it is. It's that time of the day. It's that time of the day. You know what I'm saying? I got to sell it. I got to do what I got to do. Sometimes when okay. What that say right there? Let me see RJ Cat. What she say? They say, Mickey, Kamala put out a statement. If it wasn't for that damn podcasting fun, I'd be, damn it. Set me up. Set me up. Well, y'all know what time it is. What got to be done. I hate that it's me that got to do it. But I am finna be your prettiest. Let's get to the weather, family. Let's get to the weather. Right now, it says feels like it's 76, but it's actually 71 with a little drizzle coming down with the high at 79 and the low at 63. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you, they're not peeing on you. They raining on you right now with a little drizzle. And that's today's weather. High 79 with the low of 63 with a little early morning drizzle scattered throughout the day. But it said supposed to stop raining at 10 a.m. Who knows? Who knows?
And for my Florida folk, I got it's warm. It's going to rain. It's going to keep raining until like 8 tonight. Deal with it. It's Florida.
And basically what Trevor's saying, it is what it is.
Yep.
You heard Tony Terry tapping in from Miami-Dade County, 305.
He already knows it's going to rain.
Adams. Good morning. Then we got Salty Chef, my good brother, tapping in.
All the way from
Saskatchewan, Canada.
Does that make us international?
I think it does.
Or is it still national because he's like 51st state kind of deal?
Trump ain't took it over yet. Timothy Colson, good morning. Good morning. We got Eleanor Wicker. Good morning. Thank you for tapping in. You heard, and Pop Gaddis say he coming in from Chicago. I mean, it look like the Shy like us.
Yeah, Chicago.
And we got
really
Common Sense. What's up, cousin? Thanks for tapping in. Oh, shoot. I did the weather. I got to go back and find it. I got to see who this show sponsors. Hot damn it. You know, right now, y'all know what time it is. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I got to do the weather. I got to play so many roles today.
Right.
I got to play so many roles. Said Mickey Roll call is sponsored by Prime Minister of Israel, who thought it was a good idea to nominate Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Really.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because Trump is juggling the idea of giving him massive ordnance penetrators or MOPS and B-2 spirits, which no. If we're not giving F-22s to no one, we don't need to be giving B-2s to no one.
Barb Harrington, good morning. Cameron Hardy, good morning. And we got Kobe Fatty, a.k.a. Elizabeth P. Finney, and we got the beautiful Sherry Allen in Concrete Jungle. Good morning. I was a little late, Felicia, because the way they was coming in, they was the people tapping in. They're not used to the weather being did so early, but that's how I am. I'm Mr. On Time. You know what I'm saying? Spacely Sprocket, the world's greatest producer. It was a little hating going on yesterday. I ain't saying nothing. I let it slide. Miss Karaja Smith, good morning. But when you're not feeling it, you ain't feeling it. Javier Jones, good morning. Darnell, California boy, Gaddis. Hey, look, thank you. I need it. But I'm gonna toot my own horn today. Hot damn it! Sometimes you gotta toot your own horn.
I'm just gonna drink Red Bull and speak a little bit.
Don't pass out on the camera. Now, Trevor, put that piece up because everybody want to know, and y'all know who I voted for.
Which one? The president and dude sitting side by side, or the bill?
Nah, we ain't gonna do the bill. Do the other one.
You see, when you say that piece, I have to figure out because you sent me stuff. I'm like, okay,
yeah. Epstein,
and I have to respond to Marcia A. Talbot right now. I didn't say that makes him peaceful. I just said that's why he's being nominated. Why Netanyahu is nominating him.
Benjamin wants some of them ships, but he needs some. They said America ran out of ammunition.
And released yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, kind of. I can explain that.
One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the death?
Yeah, sure. If
could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Okay, this reason I put that up there. when he said, when he said, you know, when he was running, he said, because I remember this what he was telling his base, he was going to release the Epstein files, right?
Mhm.
I mean, what happened to now versus then?
I don't know. Like, because I
Hold your
just
thought. You
don't
can
know.
think on that. Hold your thought 1 second. Sandra Nichols Martin, good morning, beloved. But I'm sorry for not giving you your flowers when you came on. Can everybody in the chat give Sandra Nichols Martin a happy birthday this morning?
Happy birthday. Let me see if I can find an
Okay.
emoji that's like a birthday cake.
Okay, now we can get back. Now, the reason I played that because you, like I said, I was looking at different ones, and it was saying like how she was saying she had this. My thing is, if you got his co-conspirator doing 20 years, and you saying you ain't found nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? You know, like this man allegedly took his own life. They lose a minute of video. I'm still trying to figure out,
Now,
man, like
the minute of video thing, if they're saying it gets recycled every night and it skips a minute, I really do need to see that for my damn self. That's not something I can take anyone's word on. Period. End of story.
that's what I'm saying, because it's like, so them, and you saying, so them girls that said they was them young ladies that said what was happened to them that didn't happen to them when they said who did it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out like all the stuff that then came out behind the scenes, you know, because you know the national media not going, you know, the media not going to put too much stuff out. It's just funny that now it's getting buried.
Here's the other side of that, right? For a few things. Number one, her going to prison for 20 years, which should be a hell of a lot longer if you ask me. If not, you know, thrown into a wood chipper. One way or another, girls were trafficked to his island. Girls were abused on his island. Whether she did that for him and clients or just for him, those girls were trafficked. So she needs to be behind some damn bars.
But
And
my thing,
that's not in question, right? So that part itself, not in question. Now, whether he had clients is now what they're denying. That part, I don't know.
but man, they got flight logs where people went there. That's what I'm just saying. You had what was the queen husband? You know, it's like, but to me, you came and said you was gonna put all this out. Well, we know politicians lie. You know, they run on a lot of things. They gonna say they gonna do this, but when they get in there, they know they can't do this. I'm just saying a lot of the people that in his party that he had promised that he was gonna open the files up. Remember the JFK, they was gonna put this out, the King, all this stuff he was supposed to do.
Did JFK and King get released?
I don't know. Not from them. Stuff that we already know. Good morning, Lindsay. Erica got us. If I miss anybody, I am truly sorry. I'm true. Reverend James Big Gaddis tapping in from Las Vegas.
Yes, they
Kenneth,
were
good
released.
morning.
They're
Lanita.
on the
But was they fully
nationalarchives.gov.
released? Was it fully released, or was the stuff you know, they have stuff redacted.
Oh,
they don't
things
have
will always
everything.
be redacted.
See,
You will
that's what
never
I'm
get
saying.
anything unredacted. We still have things redacted from the 1800s, my man.
But this is what I'm saying right here. Not all files for JFK release. That's what I'm saying. They only releasing stuff that they got the public want to believe in. That's why I'm like, this is will be, but that is on his name being on the list. Now there's no list. Well, that's what I'm saying. It said, isn't it funny? Let me see what Megan Swanson said. Isn't it funny once Elon Musk made mention of his name being on the list, now there's no list. I mean, well, you, Miss Odie, good morning. Thanks for tapping in. I to be honest with you,
I got a question about that though, because like his biggest Democrat detractors would be jumping all over this, saying that he's burying it, he's hiding it. But I haven't heard a thing from Chuck or Nancy or any of them holding press conferences saying he's. So what is actually going on here? Because yeah, for years we have heard there's a list. For years, there's been no contradiction to that. But now all of a sudden there isn't one, but people aren't jumping on it unless maybe they have friends on it too. Who knows? I don't think we'll ever know, man.
Now you ain't. I mean, you know what? Unless somebody, if you
I
you
mean,
know
why
what?
did
It'll come out. It'll come out. You always have whistleblowers. Somebody gonna get mad, and they gonna go ahead and tell it. But the reason you don't
and
hear
they'll end up like
Democrats,
Boeing whistleblowers pretty quickly.
yeah, reason, you know what I'm saying. You see, they were saying, was he an agent in that piece? That's what it was talking about. Was he a spy? Yeah, I see what Miss Gladys said. He worked for the CIA. Woodrow, good morning. But what I'm
That's
saying, you will see certain things like. To me, it was like you reason before I lose start reading Democrats and Republicans, you see neither was tripping. Who you thought was at that party? You thought it was just Democrats?
no.
It was both. It was both parties there, both sides there. They weren't going. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't and expose. You know how many people you would have got jammed up? Rose Gaddis said, "Coming." Well, let me see. Rose Gaddis. Good morning, and Gaddis claim Rose Gaddis from Quebec, Canada. Good morning. Thank you for tapping in, Rose. Hey, listen,
I'm
let's get
sorry you're in Quebec.
international.
No, I just had to apologize. She's in Quebec with all the Frenchies.
Okay, let me see. Raphael Burr said, "Hey, I don't watch TV. Did they pass that bill that's Trump is showing?" No, it passed.
The big beautiful one, yes, it
Big
passed.
beautiful one, yeah, the big beautiful one
They
passed.
had a lot of revisions to it that upset me quite a bit, but that's mainly on the firearm side of things.
See, I'm with Nancy Adams on this. She said it's already bits and pieces coming out. A lot of Washington folks believe he was CIA. But I'm saying you don't get to be in if you go follow all this stuff, Holly. You don't get to. You think presidents come, senators come, prince from other countries coming to just visit you and coming to your parties?
I mean, he may
Like,
not have been CIA, but there's a very strong chance that he worked with them. A
I
very
mean,
strong chance.
oh, Pastor Marvin Gaddis said ATL in the building. Atlanta is in the house. We get love from Georgia. I'm trying to and Georgia is the state. Atlanta is the city. The beautiful Miss Beverly Biggs in the building. Good morning. Good morning. And we got
There
the
she
beautiful
is.
Lawana Terry. Good morning. Good morning. Then, like I said, Pastor Marvin Gaddis said Atlanta in the house. Good morning. And good morning to you. Wasn't his come up off in Billionaire. I mean, when you look at how all these people be tied in, it's like a who's who. And I'm
So my
looking at
dad had a theory about that. Now it wasn't technically about Epstein, but he said all these kids going missing
oh, wow.
and being trafficked all over the world. You would think that the most powerful government with the most powerful spy agencies that have been given license to spy on you, its citizens, since the Patriot Act in 2001, they could look at anything on your cell phone, on your computer, and they keep on re-upping it every 2 or 3 years. You'd think that they would have a lot more knowledge and control over this, and you'd think they'd be able to put a stop to it or at least hinder it quite efficiently, but they haven't. So it makes you wonder, are they profiting from it? And that's just conspiracy, but it makes sense. Patriot Act and God, there's another one, the American Espionage Act, like 6 of them have been passed since 2001. And I posted a video in Flint Politics Reboot, it must have been over a month ago, but FBI stopped shipments of CPUs coming into the country and puts backdoor firmware on them, then repackages them and sends them out. They can access your computer at any time. They can access your phone anytime. If your phone's turned off, they can still listen to it, listen to the microphone on it. They can turn it back on if they want. They can still access the GPS on it. So you'd think that they'd be able to stop child trafficking.
This for you, Trevor, from Nancy Adams.
You would think, Trevor, but if they're behind it, yeah, exactly. And why would they be behind it? Well, I'd have to say in some ways it kind of lines up with the Iran Contra, and not in the sense that like it's the same thing, but the funds can go to let's just say play with Alphabet Soup's budgets and supplement them to where Congress doesn't have to know about it or sign off on it, so they can do extra fun stuff. I was just watching Cappy Army yesterday, and he went through an entire iceberg of U.S. operations in the Middle East that didn't hit the books until I want to say 2023, and several of them, like the DEA, had hit squads in Afghanistan, and we didn't know about that until I think they got withdrawn in 2017 after a really big scandal. But they were operating all over the world. They still are. You still think of them in South America. Where does that budget come from?
Yeah. Listen, remember, people forget. Yogi G, let me see if you remember this. Do y'all remember Pizzagate in DC?
The underground, the
pull that
basements.
article up. See if you can pull that article
God.
up. See, people forget this.
That's
like
still
people
QAnon.
Yeah, people forget this, huh? But I'm just saying, this is when they were saying Pizzagate. Now, I'm just telling you, it be, people can think it. See, you're like, yeah, Yogi G. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You wouldn't believe some of the things you see at the top places. But see, we got Ashley Gaddis Jordan in the building. We got LBC in the building, Long Beach, California. Thank you for tapping in. When you go back, I'm looking with Miss Gladys saying Ukraine has a trafficking business.
Yeah.
Listen, this is what people forget.
Look, you name a country on this planet, there is a trafficking business there.
Right. What they don't realize, do you know America is the #1 arms dealer? We sell
one of the top 5 in the world. Yes.
Oh, we ain't #1 no more, so we must have moved down. It was a time we was
so we are #1, but we have really close competition with China and its defense contractor Norinco, which develops shit not for the Chinese army to use, but just to sell. They have a really massive APC with a 30mm auto cannon, extremely hard armor that the Chinese army will never use, and they just made it just to sell. So yeah,
right.
But if you take a look at the top 5 arms dealers in the world, all of them happen to be on the UN Security Council, and all of them happen to have the only 5 permanent seats on the UN Security Council. That would be the United States, France, England, China, and Russia.
You only name
weird.
4.
All right, so you know what? We'll go, United States, France, UK, China, Russia.
Okay, right. All right.
We'll go with a left-leaning source, PBS. For Pizzagate. Actually, nope, I don't want to. Can I see the article? Thank you. Let's go ahead and pop this up. Pizzagate's been around forever, and I've seen so many large news agencies say, no, it's this, it's that. Like, they're playing it down pretty hard. But this one's from 2017, or updated 2017. North Carolina man who fired an assault rifle inside a District of Columbia restaurant during an investigation of a conspiracy theory dubbed Pizzagate. Yeah, it went from rumor to hashtag to gunshots, apparently, according to PBS here.
That's what I'm saying. See how they can see how they'll try to sit up there and try to like downplay it. So you have to go to like they'll downplay who is Jones. Okay, we got Jones. Hold on. Okay, Jones Elizabeth Gaddis, new subscriber from Seattle, Washington. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you.
Everywhere.
Hey, listen, let the Gaddis clan come on in, baby. New
Here's
subscriber.
one from CNN.
Sweet Cupcake on break. Good morning.
Oh, hey, you're a little late, Sweet Cupcake, but welcome. She's always in here a little bit earlier. Anyway, Elon Musk is now boosting the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, published November 21st, 2023. I've never heard of Sage Journals, but published 2023 and cited by 153, 2016 election of Donald Trump as United States president, the attack of Edgar Madison, all had something to do with Pizzagate. Pizzagate conspiracy theory thrives, the TikTok, whatever. Like, this has been around for a hot minute, but it's been buried for the last 4 years?
Listen, dude, like, that's what I'm saying. When they I can understand with this trafficking going on, like why people haven't been caught. If you go, what's that one movie called? What's the name? Elon Neeson, Taken.
Taken.
If you go watch Taken, even though it's a movie, it was showing you they was doing sex trafficking back then, and that
Mhm.
was just a movie.
Mhm.
When you seen it was the rich people that was, you know what I'm saying? So, and like they say, sometimes they put stuff in movies.
Mm.
They put stuff in movies. We be looking at it like, nah, where do you think they get these ideas from? It'd be real stuff, just like when my man, who was the guy that wrote The Sopranos?
Oh God.
I can't think
Give
of
me a
his
second.
name. And they was like, David, shit, I don't want to say the dude name wrong. And they had, and the feds had, they had the one do like, they was writing, was it David Chase? I can't remember the creator of The Sopranos.
Yeah, David Chase,
Okay,
American
David
writer
Chase.
and film producer.
Man, he had it down there down to a T. You don't think they be getting these stories from these individuals?
Dude, this is older than that. So Tom Clancy, the
Yeah, they make
novelist, the
video
guy who's
games off
made
of him.
yeah, but he got to start in novels back in, I want to say, the 70s. He's been investigated by the FBI, CIA, NSA, and so many three-letter agencies so many times because he has all these details exactly correct in his books. Like they get their stories from truth. So Taken, well, the creator of that film obviously went and spoke with some scumbags who abduct kids just to get it right for his film. Same thing about David
Facts.
Chase talking to wise guys on the East
Yeah,
Coast about how the mafia works, and
right.
you know,
See, I'm looking at Donnell Meredith, high-ranking Democrats, elected officials were tied to Pizzagate. But see how they're swooped up under the rug. I'm trying. What was Queen Elizabeth's husband name?
oh God, I actually liked him. Give
Yeah,
me a
because
second.
he was caught up in that when the prince. Oh shoot, what's his name? I can't think of that man's name. Man, he was caught up in
Prince Philip.
Prince Philip. Yeah, he was caught up in that. This ain't nothing new. But see what they do, they don't. Prince Albert. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Prince.
Philip.
Okay, Prince. Yeah, Philip.
Prince Albert, I believe, is one of his kids, and it's also the name of a piercing.
Yeah, I mean, he was caught up in that. If y'all don't be thinking what be going down, like this is what is so crazy. It's like we don't see it because we can't fathom what governments would do. We just sit up here and be, oh, government not gonna do this.
Oh
Man,
yeah,
governments
government's
play
here to
a lot of
protect you,
games. Yeah, we think
right?
they are.
Uh-huh.
And
No, the
rising the
government's
sun.
here to make itself bigger and more powerful in every
Yeah.
single way, and you're just a stepping stone.
Man, listen, I've been looking at stuff. I don't know how true this is, but I've been hearing women been going over there to Dubai, letting them rich people defecate on them and getting paid for that.
I've heard of that as well. But I mean, you know what? It's disgusting, but you can also get really quick large sum of cash because Dubai, one of the richest places in the world. If those men want to pay you six figures and fly you out and cover the taxes,
But I'm just
maybe.
saying, but this what people are do for money. Like this is
Mhm.
this what is crazy that you seeing. That's like we see. I'm just saying, Miss Odie. I'm just saying this is what I've been hearing. I don't know how true it is, but this the stuff they've been saying. I've been hearing, like what I've been looking up. And they've been saying these people been going over there to do this. So this is
Mhm.
like it's nothing new. Like people forget Marilyn Monroe. When she messing with both brothers,
Yeah, she's messing with RFK and JFK.
that's what.
And
So
her another, I think it was her husband slash
baseball.
long-term fiance boyfriend, which was a film producer. He actually was kind of pimping her out in so much as you could a movie star at that time, send her to X, go hang out with John, go
Yo,
hang
you
out with
nuts.
Robert, or hey, why don't you go stand over this vent? Oh, okay, let me get a couple pictures, and then the vent blows up steam up her skirt, and that's where you get that really iconic picture of her holding her skirt down. This has been
Yeah.
going on for a very, very long time.
And right, Yogi, like she said, and producers like this. It's like to me, people like they don't see what been going. Just go watch movies like Boardwalk Empire. Go watch
Mm.
them movies, how they treated women back then as sexual objects. Go
Yeah, they
watch
were
it.
property.
Go watch how they set up there when the women was when you see what's the dude name? What's that dude? Nucky Thompson. When you go see Nucky them talking, oh, Chicago Girl 87. Hey, thank you for
Hey,
tapping in. A new sub tapping. Hey, thank you, beloved, for tapping in. Chicago Girls 87. Hey, we need all the love we can get. We got to keep this thing rolling. That's what I'm saying. If you go back and look at this thing, man, they've been having things like this. Go back, watch the movie Rome, the series. Go look how they did with their women. That's what they was. Look, and when you see the elites, good morning, Linda Children. Sweetheart Shell, thanks for tapping in and good morning to you. When we be acting like we don't think this, these stuff not going, yes, it is. When people have money and people who don't have it, they will do whatever to get that money.
bro, I mean, take a look at the movie Hostel.
Facts.
Where, dude's traveling across Europe. No one knows where he's at. He stops at a hotel or hostel, just a group home for travelers, and gets abducted and tortured. That's not a new happening. That's been going on for a long while. Rich people have been paying to satiate their sick urges for hundreds of years, centuries, millennia.
No, facts. That's a fact. I'm looking at with Donnell because I seen earlier what what's name said was that a hit piece. What Woody Wood said those emails from Hillary Clinton campaign manager all tied with Pizzagate definitely played a factor for her losing the election in 2016. Well, they're gonna blame it on somebody else. New one, good morning. Eddie Gray, thanks for tapping in. Linda Chilton, beautiful, thanks for tapping in.
There were a lot of factors to Hillary losing 2016. The not the least of which is her just being unlikable. But yeah, some of the things her husband was tied into before, during, and after his presidency, before, during, and after him being governor. I mean, you can look back on just about any one of these folks who come from money and who have had a political position. They've done some weird stuff in their time, and it's not just recently. I mean, let's go take a look at Bush Sr. The man had a foot fetish. Let's go take a look at his father, who was an ambassador. That man, well, let's just say he spent a lot of time in the Philippines whenever he could, and the age of consent there was 12. Just putting it out there. Like, these folks are not anyone you want your kids to look up to and go, I want to be like him. No, child.
Nah, I mean, if you, hey, listen, a new one. But see, a lot of people don't want to go back to Arkansas. See, if you go back to Arkansas and see what the Clintons, who they was tied into, to some underworld stuff. Now, I'm gonna say allegedly. Yeah. I don't want to get people in trouble.
Yeah, no, we don't want to get Clintons ourselves.
Yeah, get Clinton. Yeah, because they don't play. But see, if you really go back and go study the Clintons, you'll see like when he was the governor and how he came up. Bill was something else. But all of them have come from like they have, have something. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, like it's just to me, we get so caught up in we let them paint a picture and say, hey, you know what, family? When I be hearing people, saying, you got to be presidential. Do you know what presidents do? Do you know you have presidents who had drug problems?
Mm-hmm.
But they not, you're not.
Which president are we talking about? We're going to talk about Jefferson and his sins? Are we going to go to Andrew Jackson and his murder spree in the White House, not to mention the Trail of Tears? Are we going to go back to Lincoln and some of his proclivities? Or do you want to go to Teddy Roosevelt and all the fun things that he used to do? The man idolized war. He idolized killing people. So what kind of presidential do you want to be right now? Because none of them are good.
Good morning, Miss D. That's what I'm saying. Like when they be acting like these people, like it because they put such a terrible image out here. They be want to put an image like they want to believe. If you go look and study the House of Windsor, go study England, their king, the queen. If you don't think their history got blood in it, you a lie. You had kings that beheaded their women just to get with somebody else. But
yeah, Henry.
The monarch, let me say that, the monarch, they would act like, you know what I'm saying, like these people, like this stuff, it's look, man, you can go study through history and go look at this stuff. It's been, like they say, people do strange things for some change, and you seeing that now. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you hear,
Here's the thing, right? This has always been a thing, but we know more about it now because of these little things. Your face is always stuck to it, you know? Just like the world
right,
seemed so much bigger when we were kids, and now, you can look up just obscure animals from Australia, to see what it looks like just without, really thinking about it. The world's gotten smaller because we've gotten so technologically advanced. You can now see almost in real time a lot of what's been happening. I mean, hell, what happened with Princess Diana?
man,
Makes you think.
playing around with Dodie Fayad. That's what that was when finna be
Like
playing around.
there was rumors that
Oh
MI6,
my God, good morning.
MI5. So
Yeah.
in order, the British CIA and FBI had her killed
Uh-oh.
because she was dating
Uh-oh.
a Muslim Arab man.
Dodie
What's up?
Fayad. Yeah, and I was looking at
Yeah.
Michael Jackson Jones, a new subscriber checking in from Philly. Hello, Mickey and Trevor. Hey, thank you for tapping in, good brother. Thank you for tapping in.
Thank you. Yeah,
Mark Hutchison
because
came here. Oh, what's up, Mark?
it would have looked bad for the royal family to have a future king, have a person of color be his stepfather. You know, it's a lot the same way that they acted with Meghan Markle marrying one of the princes.
Man,
Oh,
they
the
shit, they
bloodline is tainted according to them.
tainted. They tainted that bloodline, and but did you see how the press reacted over there?
God, it was
The press,
terrible.
the press, Crystal Monique, thanks for tapping in. Omar
Like,
Thub, if I miss you,
they
thank you for
were
tapping in.
knocking on her for being a divorcee. They were knocking on her for being an actress. They were knocking on her for uh having sex on screen, simulated or whatever on the show
Right.
Suits. Great show, by the way, guys. Go watch that. They were knocking on her for being, not white, for being American. Like, Jesus, this woman's entire existence was a sin to the not just the English press, the entire European press. Like, the
Oh,
French
was
were freaked out.
disgusted. Disgusted. I'm looking at what New One said. Did you really think they were going to release anything with Bill Gates and Prince Andrew visiting Epstein Island?
Oh,
And
hell
you're right about
no.
that. See, I know they wasn't. That's just like a lot of the stuff that we seen. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny to me. Like a lot of these things they say they can't know. They could go find Osama bin Laden over in the mountains. And you
The
mean to
hide and
tell
seek
me?
sing of the world.
And
He
you
was hidden for 12 years, and we can't find out who was going to Epstein's Island.
And that's what I'm saying. You got stuff like, and these people, you mean to tell me you can't find people who doing stuff here? That's just like they so-called the mayor, the mayor so-called got all these cameras around the city. We can't tell the people where they at. But did not one camera pick up that thing rolling through, smashing in the D&H, then pick up smashing in the Swanson funeral home. They didn't, the cameras ain't picked that up. I'm just saying, when you seeing how this thing play out, it's like everything is crazy. Donnell Doom is what it do. Doom is in the building. What you think?
All right.
Uh,
New one. Here's one. And I see what you're saying, but that was also before cameras and when they were very comfortable rewriting history. That's something that they like to hide. So Meghan Markle is just a reminder that you can't hide everything, right?
yeah, yeah. But this, and I'm with you, Raphael Bird. Like you said, man, they knew all along what Osama bin Laden was, so they know. That's what I'm saying. You mean to tell me all these kids can get trafficked through here and don't nobody know? Don't nobody know when they get you gone forever.
Man, you know how many murderers they catch just off the GPS data on their cell phone? And you're telling me you can't figure out who was in the same general vicinity as this child when they were abducted, because, children have phones today. Who was whose GPS signal was right on top of that kid's signal before the kid disappeared? Come on now. But it makes you wonder how many arrests would they have to make and how much money would the U.S. government lose? Because, like I said, I think it is tied to the U.S. government in one way or another, just like
Man,
Iran-Contra.
yeah, 'cause they ain't did nothing come out of that. Did nothing really come from out of that Iran-Contra.
No,
You
no, they
had
fired a general and ran him through the ringer, tarred and feathered his name, and that was it. That was it.
man. That's what is so crazy. No, you right. Christine Chandler fires with Saddam Hussein. Yeah, they gave him the weapons to go
Mhm.
attack. Like when see what people don't, you might forget. Give you a little history lesson. I'm not the brightest. I'm not the dumbest, but I do like to study history. But if you go pay attention when they say the Iran and Iraq war, who you think was supplying Iraq?
Oh, we were supplying both.
Yeah. So who caused when that
Uh,
war?
don't just say who was supplying Iraq. No, we were supplying
No,
both.
no, but they was trying to say when they was making Saddam, when they was saying Saddam Hussein, when he did that, United States wasn't saying they was giving him the money. That's why I
Now,
put that out there.
I do
So they
believe
didn't
he
want to
made his
say
own
they
mustard gas. That I believe he made himself. But
I,
conventional weapons, we were giving him everything. God, we were
you
giving
know,
him land-based, surface-to-surface intermediate range missiles.
reason I'm gonna tell you, I don't believe they got their gas just like what they said anthrax. They found that over there. Where you thought anthrax was made at?
Um,
In a government, US government, they laboratory. That's what I'm
there's
saying.
3 laboratories unclassified in the world that deal with anthrax right now, especially weaponization. One in the old Soviet Union, I believe it's in Kazakhstan, still owned by the Russian Federation. One that was in Ukraine, and one in the United States. The Ukrainian one was also owned by the United States and was set up in 1993.
And that's why I do tell people that this Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Go get that book. That's another treasure people need to have in their Wilson name. And you will see how they go in governments. Now you go
Mm.
see how they play. They don't play when the jackal come in, he ain't coming to talk.
Raphael Bird,
Either you gonna take this or we gonna take it.
Raphael Bird, I don't think it's in South Carolina. I believe it's in Georgia at the CDC. Just as a heads up. Like, kind of crazy. Didn't we
Man,
lose some weapons too? Yolanda, we've lost, I believe, 7 nuclear weapons. One of them off the coast of Spain. 2 of them crashed into North Carolina. One of them is buried so deep and scattered so far that we can't find the trigger mechanism nor the plutonium. We've lost, I believe, 1 over Canada around Newfoundland. Yeah, we've lost a couple nukes.
this was crazy. You know, I went and seen the last Mission Impossible.
Mm.
What you think Tom Cruise they was fighting to go get? What you just said, they had to go find a Russian submarine that went so deep down, and it had it had the nuclear weapons, but he went and got it because whoever was going, man, what you just said is what damn near what that movie was about verbatim.
Mhm.
They was going to have a control key to start a nuclear war. Mama Quill, you are right. At one time, America was riding with Muammar Gaddafi. Yeah, they sure was.
At one time, America was riding with everyone that we are enemies with today. And I don't mean like ancestrally we're hanging out with this dude. I mean like 20 years ago, 40 years ago, this dude was still alive and kicking, and now he is a grave concern and enemy to the United States.
Facts.
I mean, I think the only group that we are not friends with, that we haven't been friends with, but for a short period of time, is Russia. We were chill with them from like 94 to 2003, and then we're back at it with them.
Hey, facts, new one. I did see that. That's why they can't stand Ibrahim. I want to say that brother last name, Torre, because he's going against the power structure. Ibrahim Torre. I'm saying that brother Ibrahim T. I say that I can get that right.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. No, they was with all of them. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you had when they had, who was that? The Kurds. Remember when Saddam went to he did one of these. You go right. He made that left and went and attacked the Kurds. Who you think funded the Kurds?
We did.
That's what I'm saying.
And this isn't just like we did, we are. So we've been working with the Kurds as soon as Iraq and Iran stopped, being at war with each other, and we went and destroyed half of Iran's fleet in a day. We started financing the Kurds. Then Gulf War kicked off right after Saddam gassed the Kurds. We started financing them heavily, but guess what? Iraq isn't the only one that hates the Kurds. Syria, Jordan, that entire little regional area hates the Kurds, and we have been funding them. Hell, we've been fighting side by side with them in Syria and northern Iraq since, I want to say, 2010 when we were fighting ISIS.
Yeah, if you go look at it, because what was the predominant religion when Saddam was in control?
I believe he was Shiite.
Was he Shiite or Sunni?
I believe he was Shiite. Sunni, I believe, is the more Persian.
It's one of the religions that when they took him down popped up. That he had them down.
It
was one of the extreme religions, because you couldn't be no weak man running Iraq. I just want people to understand that.
Oh yeah,
because he had to keep some factions in line.
Well, let's take a look at this for a second. I've said it before, and I'm never going to apologize for it. Dictators aren't always bad. They aren't. Some are absolutely terrible, horrible people. Yes, get rid of them. Saddam, he wasn't absolutely terrible for his people. He wasn't. He kept his people in line. He kept them prosperous, and he kept many of the ethnic and religious, subgroups from getting absolutely overrun and destroyed in Iraq. He was a strong man, and he was a strong leader.
Do you understand? That man kept some factions that's running loose now. That wasn't running loose. See, people don't be understanding, man, when you be go look at Libya right now. Go. It's on YouTube. I want to say the clip what it was looking like before and compared to now. Hillary Clinton cannot say she did that regime change that they trying to do. Go look who they saying running Syria now. Go look who they say. Did they say ISIS then took over Syria?
It started to.
Go look how, but you got the king overthrew. You got my man al-Bashar overthrew.
And I want to point out what Yogi G said. America has been on smoke time. Let's not forget how we took several Nazi scientists and let them work with us. We took their V2, V3 program and turned it into our space program. Go ahead and look up Operation Paperclip. But we all glaze over the war crimes of Japan and Unit, God, I think it was 726 or something like that. Like, they're the reason how much water is in a human body, because they kept throwing POWs and people of China, Manchuria into convection ovens to evaporate all the water out of them, see how much weight difference there was. They were absolutely crazy. They were beheading POWs. No one really cares to talk about that. Why? Because Japan worked with us after the war. There's a reason you can get a nice new Toyota for less than how much you get a car built in the United States for. There's a reason you can get Sony life insurance, a Sony monitor, a Sony PlayStation, Sony Vegas video editing software. Sony's literally in every industry, period. For cheaper than you can get American-made products. And it's because we said, look, we kicked your ass. We dropped 2 sons on you. You're going to be our manufacturing and technological base now. And they go, bet, don't talk about our war crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Facts, said Obama. Yeah, I seen that, Miss Gladys. Yeah. Because he was the president when it went down.
RJ, don't get too crazy with that bunker. You'll get a massive ordnance penetrator dropped on you by a B2.
Man, you got to be, listen, man, you got to be when you really go do you study like through history and what you see, they be having a bunch of covert missions going on that you don't know about. Go watch some of these movies. I forgot what it was when you seen the CIA and FBI was going back and forth. I forgot the name of the movie, but Matt Damon played in it when they was like, it ain't no weapons of mass destruction. You know what I'm saying? That when you see these movies, but you get to see the game that they play. They was like, we ain't found none. And they knew it was, but what it was regime change. That's what it really was. It was regime change.
You want to play a really fun game right now?
Come on.
Let's go back to 1990.
Let's go.
And take a look at every country that did not have a centralized bank controlled by the Rockefellers and
let's go.
Those old families.
Right.
Now take a look at every country we've been to war because we never declare that we've been to war with since that time frame, and how many of them are on that list, and how many got regime change that now have a centralized bank controlled by the same banking family.
Facts. See, they bringing that. If you really go look, America was never supposed to be set up like that to have a Federal Reserve.
No, I mean, Andrew Jackson, one of the guys that we just talked about is evil earlier. His killing spree involved a national bank. He killed a national bank.
You're right. And it's the name of the movie called Green Zone. Go watch that movie. And like I say, go watch The Good Shepherd. You watch The Good Shepherd with Matt Damon and what's my man name?
That one was a good one.
Robert De Niro. Go watch them movies, and you're gonna see that the Good Shepherd is gonna show you how Bones and Skull and how they're gonna start the CIA and the FBI. You're gonna see how this stuff, and it's gonna show you that after World War II with Hitler, you're gonna see Russia and the United States gonna be splitting up, and Germany gonna be splitting up who getting scientists.
It wasn't even on paper. It was, hey, I captured this dude. He is mine now. They weren't treating these scientists as people. They're treating them as intellectual property. The first one to get to it keeps it. Mind you, we stole technological pieces of tech from Germany, or actually from Great Britain that took them from Germany, like Messerschmitts.
Facts.
Jet engines. The Brits took it. We go, hey, no, that's ours now. We just kind of snuck into their hangar, flew it out. Like, Germany was a treasure trove after World War II for both the USSR and the Allied powers, because USSR kind of allied
from.
The Autobahn.
Where do you think they got that from?
Oh, that's German, dude.
That's what I'm saying. They took a lot of stuff.
So Hitler wanted this big, beautiful highway, right? And then he realized that not too many people have cars. Cars are kind of expensive. So what did he do? He took the German regime and manufacturing industry, set a chunk of it aside, and said, hey, you're going to make cars for the people.
Right.
You know what that brand is? Volkswagen, which translates to the people's wagon. He made cheap-ass little cars. That way he could show off in front of the rest of the world, hey, look, we got this big, beautiful highway. There is no speed limit. And, oh, yeah, most of our people are driving on it right now. It was literally a dick measuring contest. This is how good my people are. The people of Germany, the blah, 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 superior master race, blah, 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 blah. That's literally all it was.
Right. That's why when you see what's going on now, even like, listen, all empires have Miss Beverly Big. I think she's sick, Miss Big. But she don't want to believe she got COVID. I believe she got COVID.
I believe the Diablo sauce got her from Taco Bell.
No, she got COVID because she's saying she's sweating and feverish. Like, you trying to tell me you can't catch COVID in the summer. I'm like, are you crazy? I told her, go get tested before you come back here. Go get tested, because I've been down this road.
Yeah, she don't need to be speaking into a microphone and then passing it to guests.
Yeah, I've been down this road. One person gets sick and they got everybody sick. I've been through this when the time was at St. Mark's got a food giveaway. I need to go down there and get me some. No, you do, but people do need to really go look at this. When you go see that, you're gonna see the bankers. You're gonna see about the banks. When you see, because people
these banks have been controlling things since people were barely able to put two bricks on top of each other in Europe.
And this what is so gangster with it. Do people remember Prescott Bush? Who you think he supported in the war? Hitler. He supported both sides, and that's George
I
Bush.
mean,
That's Papa Bush.
yeah.
Prescott.
Actually,
Go look.
Book
Go
of
look.
Revelation asked me about him when I was doing the military series, which might be doing something on that here in a bit. But he asked me if he did chemical weapons. Everything I found said no, but that man was manufacturing ammunition in every common caliber in Europe. He was doing 7mm Mauser. He was doing 7.62 by 3.9 for the Russians. He was also doing 7.62 by 2.5 for the Russians. He is doing 30-06 for the Americans. He was doing 308 Wenby for the Brits. That man was making all the ammunitions. Just saying. And yeah, Americans' hands are clean. No other country's hands are also clean. Everyone's been playing this great game for as long as people have been grouping themselves into groups and calling it a government. Everyone's trying to get ahead. It's just now we see the game because we got this World Wide Web and people are able to talk about what's happening in their corner of the world. And we have whistleblowers now able to anonymously leak information like that.
Nah, when you go look, Brother Elliot was telling them yesterday, go. You know, he gave them good books. He told them he got one on the Rothschilds, how you see how they started it. Go look who like you said, when you see how this thing is set up. I remember that right there. Hold on, what it says for you, Trevor. Trevor, remember Jesse Ventura? He talked about the same thing you talking about today. Thank you for both the information. Yeah, no, Jesse Ventura was saying some stuff. He was saying
he really was.
Man, you see, we just get caught up in let me see what new one just said. Okay, Brother Elliot said the Knights Templar started the International Monetary Fund.
Yep. And they started off, remember how rich those guys were? They started off as people just protecting pilgrims going to the Holy Land, just walking with these groups of parishioners going to Jerusalem. And somehow they became the most rich and powerful group in all of Europe, so much so that the lords, barons, earls, kings, and pope were threatened by them because they had so much money that when called to war, they could just say, I don't need your cash right now. I'm going to sit this one out. You know how much of a threat that is when you have an armed group of men, knights, and then they have people that work for them armed called men at arms, and they just decide, I may not want to go to war for you, or I may want to go to war against you in your own realm. Money is money. Money is the most powerful thing in the world. You can't, and that's aside religion, but you can't convince me otherwise.
We want to just put this up on here. Read Control Oligarchs, exposing the billionaire class, their secret deals, and the globalist plot to dominate your life. I mean, when you go, that's what I'm saying. When you be looking at, that's what I'm saying. When you go look at these president runs, why you looking at how you feel about Elon and Trump beef right now and Bannon?
All right, if you want to know the truth, I knew that those two are going to fall out. They're both really rich egotists that are used to people kissing their ass. One of them is a ketamine fiend. The other one, while he doesn't have any addictions that we know of, so he doesn't drink. His brother died from it. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't. But the man's obviously got some things he likes to do behind closed doors that make him think differently at times. You know, his back and forth with the tariffs. I just read he's putting a 50% tariff on copper yesterday when 3 months ago he said he wasn't doing anything with metals. Anyway, you know, he goes back and forth. You can see both these men with these, I want to say bipolar type attitudes falling out very quick and very easy. And now Elon's talking about making his own political party, the America Party. Like, anyone with a brain saw this coming from a year away.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? Oh, I'm reading. I was reading what Raphael Burr said and put it up here. Raphael said, like it was said, we are only one that value money, the penny and dollar bill. What has more value?
I mean, in terms of spending the dollar bill, but in terms of usefulness, I could use the zinc and copper and a penny for a lot of things. Just saying.
Yeah. And to be honest, to me, I'm going to say this. I do believe, my take on it, I think the beef between Elon and Donald is really like, to me, it's like a distraction because, listen, I do feel Elon like I put this money in you, but Donald Trump like, look, man, you've been getting money from both getting over $35 billion. You've been getting good money. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Elon's
like,
been getting subsidies
yeah,
before he even bought into Tesla from the United States government, from his other business ventures, including his family's emerald mine in South Africa. He's been getting subsidies his entire damn life. It didn't
it,
matter which president was in power. The man has gotten money from us. I'd say a large part of his fortune is from the United States Treasury.
that's why I was laughing at then when Trump said talking about hitting about deporting. Then he threw about Trump wife not being an American. It was funny to me. It was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But that just shows you the hypocrisy of it all. It was
I
like, damn,
mean,
then you see Steve O'Bannon when he said you really should have went to jail. Then he want to say the January shit. It's like, dude, now you want to say this. That's what I get mad about. That's one thing I do hate. If you ain't gonna tell me in the beginning, don't come telling me when you get mad. I
right?
hate that.
Yeah, that's one of
I
those.
hate that.
Oh, this is my best friend. Then 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
this guy's murdering puppies. Why couldn't you tell me then? But
Yeah.
it's weird being in my position, right? Because I voted for Trump. I'm still not, regretful of my vote. I still like a lot of the things that he's done, but he is definitely making me scratch my head a lot. And there are still some things where I'm sitting here going, no, I don't like that at all, Mr. President. And then, Elon Musk, I know that guy's a scumbag. I know he's a drug user. I know he's this, that, and the third. But he's also had some things that I liked as well. It's very weird sitting in this position. I
This what I'm looking
don't
at.
like some things, but I do like some things, but I have to call them out on their stupid.
This
I
what
go
I'm
for it.
liking with New One saying. When presidents start changing their minds, I think they got to visit, and I believe that too.
You think they
I
ever showed the
believe,
JFK video?
yeah, because I'm gonna give you a hit. Remember Enron?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Kenneth Lay?
Was he the
The
CFO for
one
Enron?
that supposed to shot himself, took his own life.
Yeah, the one that also told everyone to shred everything in the office, and they are
Yeah,
throwing
but remember
the shred. Yeah,
remember he
they
took his
didn't
own
shred
life.
everything enough, and he's sitting there going, "I'm going to jail for a long time," and
But when
decided that a quick way was easier.
and look how many people was connected to the Enron thing. Now you know what they told him.
Oh,
Your family gonna get to live. They probably gave him a walk. This was my uncle, how he explained it to me. He said, nephew, he said, sometime they'll do this to you. Hey, you see your kids over there swinging on the fence and everything. You see how your family living in that house. Now, if you don't go ahead and fall on this sword,
Mhm.
we can wipe them all out. We can wipe them all out. Now, if you're gonna fall on this sword and make it be what it be, your family will still get to live a good life. You got one or two choices. Because I'll
Yeah,
give you another hint that
either
people
you
might
can
have
take
missed.
yourself, or we can take all y'all. You know what I mean?
And you know who else? You know what else I'm gonna give y'all? Remember when Obama, remember when Air Force One flew over and they said the kids, his daughters wanted them to fly over this over this little what's the name? They did a flight, went off the what's the name? They didn't go off his flight pattern. Just
Yeah.
go back. A lot of people missed that. They were saying, "Oh, the daughter said this when they was young to fly and go do this." What up, Big T? Saying, "No, that was a hint to Obama. You don't go around. You see how your daughter's up there flying on Air Force One.
I
F
mean,
around and find out. No, yeah, you go back and do some
how many
history.
times has Air Force One just suddenly diverted from its flight plan? That's a show of power. I don't think that's the president going, "Hey, take me to McDonald's in Kansas." I think that's someone saying, "We control where you go."
Right.
Money
That's the point
controls
that I'm making.
everything. And,
Yeah,
when it comes to, all right, security clearance in the Army, right?
yeah.
I was able to get a secret, which I didn't need, but to go any further in the Army, to go up the echelon, say, be a tier 1 operator. So Ranger, Special Forces, any of the fun guy stuff, you have to get a top secret. And
Man,
to get a top secret, you get a mental evaluation, you get a background check, you get a financial check. They also check if you're addicted to anything, if you have problems, being loose around women, X, Y, and Z. They make sure that you're a fanatic, right? They don't do that with these politicians. Hell, we had a politician, I I think it was a senator who was sleeping with a Chinese spy. No one did a background check there. These guys get elected and they get all the information right up. Like, money controls a lot of these people's lives. And if it isn't money, then it's some addiction or some vice that can very easily be manipulated and then manipulate them into doing what you need to do.
Man, they listen, dude. They play so many games. Like I say, if you in that bloodline, as they call them, blue bloods, you know what I'm saying. Don't think
That
these
old
people that's
money with
becoming, don't think these people who coming in to be presidents are not in that blue blood family. Just because Barack had melanin in him, he was in that family that connected. Just because what's the name came, I think didn't Clinton come from? He was raised by his mother.
Bill
Clinton, because when he supposedly supposed to be poor, but he was able to go away to a school.
He went to Yale and went to the Skull and Bones.
Too.
Let's
when
put
he
this.
Met Kennedy.
I don't
remember
know.
when he was a young boy. He got to shake Kennedy hand. I forgot what school that was he went to.
I just want to put out there, right? Like, I could inherit. Not inherit, because that's blue blood, right? But I could win the lottery, go to Yale right now, and I could be the most popular guy on campus. Guess what? I'd never be invited to a society such as the Skull and Bones because my family didn't have money before. My family didn't know their families. These are old families with money that have known each other and have intermixed for generations.
Facts. All you got to do is just go back and look. Like, once you go through history, that's why I say go on the History Channel. It's called The Men Who Built America. That's going to give you the Carnegies, going to give you the DuPont, the Rothschilds. Not the Rothschild. It's going to give you so many different families.
I bet you that the Motts were even mentioned in that at one point, even as a footnote, as a secondary family. But with how deep their fingers are into the rest of the country, and we talk about them a lot in Flint, but let's take a look at what they do down here in Florida. Let's take a look at what they do in Georgia. How about right next door to me in Louisiana? Them guys been around. They're definitely a secondary family. And the reason I bring that up is because it's something we're all familiar with. This is a family that has reached out and touched each one of us in one way or another. We talked about in one way or another. This is closer than you think. This isn't just higher echelon. This comes down to the poor folks and touches us in everyday life.
Yeah, see, okay, the story is Clinton grew up poor. That's what I'm saying. Once you go read on a local level, it said Donnell Meredith. And now when you say that, that's people going Fred Tucker.
Some pants just got filled.
Yeah. See, it's on Hulu right now. The Men Who Built America. When you see this stuff, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gates. When you go see all this stuff, J.P. Morgan with U.S. Steel, when you go look at all this stuff, how these men took over, that's what I'm saying. Go back and study when they
who Mark Zuckerberg's grandfather is. What, you think this kid just suddenly came up with the golden idea for social media on his own and had all the money for the infrastructure on his own?
People don't know who Anderson Cooper is, who be on CNN, who his family is, where he come from. That's what I'm saying. People don't even go pull up and see where he come from. Anderson Cooper, who his
Anderson
mama
Cooper's family.
Yes, go pull up his history.
What? Let's do this live. It's always fun to do things like this live.
He come from money.
All right.
The Vanderbilt. See, that's what I'm saying. Go study go study who Anderson Cooper is. People don't be understanding.
Vanderbilt Cooper, Mycelani Cooper.
Because I think his mother was raised by her auntie or something.
And the Vanderbilts, like, hell, I used to work with one of their companies, Vanderbilt Machinery, when I was working at Amazon. They were contracted in. They had a lot of pull in that building.
Man, people don't be even understanding, man. Yeah, Anderson Cooper, son of Gloria Vanderbilt. They don't even be understanding, like, who you be having, who these people be, and they get put in this position. They be, listen, man.
That makes you think, though, like, because
Yeah,
media is really powerful. And
right.
there's now a Vanderbilt helping
Yeah,
lead the media perception of the
facts.
world.
Yeah, like he can tell like somebody, how you gonna have people who don't know what the struggle is? And that's the same thing as far as these you seeing these people good morning, Michelle Pfeiffer. These are the people who are like, this is who supposed to be leading the people, people who making millions of dollars. How you gonna know what a person pain is? How you gonna say like you have one senator? I mean, when you see some of this stuff, man, if some of
These
these
are people
people,
that buy houses the same way you and I make an impulse purchase for, say, a video game or a new piece of tech for the studio. They're like, oh, that house looks cool, and just throw a wad of cash at it, and all of a sudden it's theirs, and then they get rid of it or forget about it. How do you forget about a house?
see, this the stuff my uncle used to be on me about, and my cousins, like knowing who these people who have money that was running things. This the type of stuff like we had to, even though we weren't paying attention to none because we wanted to watch football and basketball. But as I got older, I started being more understanding like the stuff that was being said. Like me
Remember what
now.
the Emperor of Rome said, dude. You said you were watching football and basketball. The Emperor of Rome said, give people their daily meal, or what was it, bread and water, and something, and some games to entertain them or to distract them, and
Right.
you will have a populace that you could do whatever with.
And what you
Look how
think you
crazy
got
we get
going
over
on
the
now?
damn Super Bowl. As
Right.
long as you can get, there's a saying, America is 3 days away from anarchy at any time, which means people go without food for 3 days. They tend to get a little insane and go do anything they can to go eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're getting just a little bit of food, just a little bit to keep you from that edge, you'll do whatever they tell you, whether it be subliminal, like through the news, just a little this here, or hey, here's this new law that you have to follow now.
Yeah. Like people don't understand. Go listen, man. Even when they marry, don't get it twisted. These people, they might say they don't have monarchs, but they play the same way. They gonna like people don't understand. Like Lyndon Johnson, Lady Bird, her family come from. He married into money. Like people don't be understanding what. Okay, breaking news from North Carolina. Ashley just got a notice. Now we
Water
have water
shortage.
shortage with restrictions. Wow.
Hey, I'll be right back in 2 seconds, man.
Go ahead. Now you see what I'm saying? Like facts. I remember my Reese was hollering that demolition mean progress, but see, a lot of people don't be paying attention to that. We be more into, we can crab boils. Now it's looking at they saying that some allegedly, I don't know. There's like, well, I should have. I'm probably have Trevor see if he can find it. I know it's on my page, but they saying you can, some they put they put some of the stuff in the food. Man, this is so crazy what we going through, but we seem to can't see where we at in this whole this game that we playing. Hey, new one. Facts. Said there are families that have been running Flint for right. That's why I'm like, when I said I will fall back, like, I'm not, like I'm not gonna cover it, but like, listen, you're not gonna beat this system. You might get one or two rebellions or radicals on there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people gonna do what they're gonna have to do. It's gonna come down to self-preservation. That's the first thing they're gonna say. Well, I had to look out for me. Let me see what did Javier say? Okay, good. Check out John Kerry. His wife is a Heinz Harris. Hey, facts. I remember they was giving him some flack if he would have made president. His wife was gonna be the first lady, but Trump made president, and they pick and choose about what they want to do, man. Like everybody they pick and choose on. It depends on who in power.
Right? I mean, you just said we pretend like we don't have monarchs anymore. But what is a monarch, really? It is the head of a powerful family. And in some
Facts.
countries, that powerful family is considered the ruler. But when you have enough money, when you have enough influence, when you have enough connections, you don't have to have a title to run a country, a region, a continent. political interest.
But that's how
It's
that's how
true.
they do. I was looking at this right here where it says, what Yolanda Yogi G said, mad about fans not being allowed on Carnival cruises. Listen, man, people got the right. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like that's not in that. That's really that. Like some of that stuff. That's not important to me. I'm gonna be honest. What new one said? Currently reading Secret Empires, how the American political class hides corruptions and enriches family and friends. Hey, you can listen. That's a rough one right there. Let me see this right
Man.
here. Every major city in America is run by a few families who control the purse strings. I am from Farrell, PA, small town, big mafia presence. We always knew who the power families were and are. Hey, like
I mean,
people know here. It's like people
the
know here.
Motts, the Ridgeways are white. Yeah.
Oh, that's the same.
Weird.
That's his family. Yeah. I mean, people know who run this thing here. You know what I'm saying? It's just that
hell, my little local town, what's his name? I just ran into him the other day. I went to his gun store, Mr. McCullers. His family owns like 3 city blocks. Or he owns it. He got it from his father, who got it from his father, and he's passing it down to his son. And that's in Live Oak. I mean, tiny little city that you've never even heard of, right? Like, every city throughout America has these powerful families, and they have connections across the country to these other powerful families.
Right. This is like, to me, this is like they and that's why it's like when you see what's going on, like how can it's a money thing. That's why you can see such as like you can get a governor, Gretchen Whitmer, running around saying the water is fixed here, water is bad here, gonna be here Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's gonna happen if you do go to pressing them? You know how they can make, government can make your life miserable.
Yeah,
they could kill you and have it that you killed yourself. That's how the government is.
You want to? So growing up in Arizona, on the border, there were some people who would play around a little too roughly, I'd say, like the amount of rough I am. Now, just imagine in a place where it's more restricted, right? There was one man who was said to have offed himself by hanging and shooting himself in the back of the head 9 times with both of his hands restrained behind his back. And that is the official autopsy report. And that's just small town Douglas, Arizona. Now imagine places like New York. A little crazy.
I'm just reading what Yolanda Corbett just said.
I
just
love
learned
the way
that the
that she
DC
just
flag is the coat of arms for George Washington. Do you know how many people got these 3 stars and bars tatted on them? But you mad about slavery? Reading is fundamental. Facts. I'm just saying when I look when I see some stuff, man, like this right here for fire, because do people understand this? Even when Obama came in after George Bush, he never changed the tax cuts. He kept the Bush tax cuts permanent. Do people know when Biden came in, he didn't change the Bush tax cuts? Don't get it twisted, family. Like, when thank you, Grace and Peace. When it was glad to say it's a uniparty, it is a uniparty. It's like what Trevor was saying earlier. Why you didn't see no Democrats pushing back on Trump? Because why no Democrats ain't pushing on Trump with that Epstein's file? Because there's some Democrats in there. Don't get it twisted. And I do believe if it's Mark Hutchins, whoever said he believed Trump used the Epstein file to blackmail people. And I do believe that, because this is what they do. Government, they will blackmail you. This is what they do. This ain't nothing new. That's like they pick and choose who they want to jam up. Do you know what I'm saying?
I just got to respond to Lumi here. I'm talking about Live Oak, the small city in Swanee County. Yeah, I know there's a Live Oak County, but this is an even smaller area. It's right next to the Boys Ranch, which I'm still scared to go there. It's apparently sheriff's, but anything with the name Boys Ranch makes me think of like Johnny Cole, and I don't want to be anywhere near around there. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. What Biden kept Trump. So did he didn't change them tax cuts?
No.
That's what people be sitting up here be looking at like,
And
no, don't
they'll
touch that.
complain about it, like, Biden ran against saying, "I will revert the Trump tax cuts," but he kept them. And Trump said, "I will revert a lot of the Biden tax cuts." He kept them. Oh, Biden, or sorry, so that was the Obama. Obama said he would revert the Bush tax cuts. He kept them. Why? Because these rich folks keep on giving, finding ways
Yeah.
to keep money for themselves. And so president may actually, presidential candidate may actually want to do that until he gets in office and he finds out how much those tax cuts were affecting, say, people in his party or a lot of the people contributing to his campaign. And now he knows he can't go back on it because he won't get that same support.
Yeah. Like people forget Enemy of the State with Will Smith. That movie was a real movie, man. It's just because at the end he was able to survive out of it. That was real, but a lot of people don't survive out of it. Just think about the dude, what you saying. Who was the dude? Remember when he the one that exposed fires that ran Contra while he
Are
was
we?
trying to help.
Oh,
He
the
supposed to shot
general.
himself in the head. No, he was a journalist.
Oh, the
Remember, he
journal.
shot
Okay, yeah.
himself in the head, postly with a shotgun twice.
Yeah, right.
First
Kurt
one didn't do it.
Cobain.
He loaded it up a second time and said, "Let me do it again." See, they not even talking about. No, I'm just saying this is the stuff. Man, they will have it. Listen, they can have it. They got stuff where they can have you can have a heart attack. Where they can hit you. This is the technology that these people have.
No, you
They
want to
can
hear
sit up.
something crazy? And they've been doing this since late 1700s. So there's cyanide in apple seeds, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in apple seeds. It's a very, very small amount. But if you crush up enough apple seeds in a high enough humidity so the cyanide doesn't evaporate off and then you condense it and distill it, you have yourself a nice little vial of cyanide. They were using that on senators and congressmen during the 17 and 1800s. The tricks are the same. The methods have just gotten more sophisticated. And you want to, all right, so here's one of my biggest fears of all time, and it is literally the American government. And what do I mean by that? Like, I love my country, I'm a patriot, always stand by my country. I don't like my government whatsoever. If you want to see how the government can go after a man, just a single man, single him out and ruin him, go look up Ruby Ridge. This guy was supposedly very much like me, except he had a gunsmithing license. And he was very outspoken and political. And he was trying to change things in his area. Next thing you know, some folks come up to him and try to get him to cut off some barrels on some shotguns. He says, "No, I'm not going to do that." They eventually cut off his bank account. So he had no money. And then they said, "Hey, how about you do this for us?" And he goes, "Well, I'm in such a financial bind. I'll do it." The ATF and FBI come to raid his house while he's got mail with his son, not knowing that this was happening. As they're walking down the road, and this is on a nice little piece of property, several acres, they shot his son. He runs to his house, barricades himself inside with his wife and his newborn. As he's coming out to surrender, he steps out, sets his firearm on the ground because he didn't know that it was government agents at first. This was a standoff for a few days. His wife comes out holding his newborn child. This man is disarmed, and they shoot his wife in the head, holding his newborn child. Yeah. Here's another example. You guys ever hear of Branch Davidian? If you don't know the name, I can
Waco,
give you.
Texas.
There you go.
About, I know
Waco.
you talking about, man.
And these were just folks, religious, who were collecting firearms because they believed the rapture was coming. They were really of no threat to no one. Yeah. While he was doing some pretty heinous stuff, the actual folks at Branch Davidian were not a threat to no one. And it's weird how they throw in a flashbang of all things and it catches the entire house on fire and ATF agents are sitting there posing with dead bodies. And you know what that led to? One of the survivors decided that he was going to take revenge on the U.S. government, and that's what the Oklahoma City bombing is. The U.S. government, in any way, shape, and or form, can take revenge or take vengeance upon any person they so wish at any time. An American citizen who happened to support the Taliban or ISIS, one of the two, during Obama's presidency, instead of getting arrested, extradited, and tried, they hit him with a Hellfire missile fired from a Predator drone. You know what they also did? They went and killed his son, too. Weird.
Oh, you got the feds freezing up on you now. The feds watching this, they jamming it up. No, but you know what? I can tell you something that they've been doing this to us. The Black Panther Party, man, they got into straight out. They was knocking them down. Do you understand? People was having to sneak. They killed Fred Hampton, shot
Dude, the
him
Black
up.
Panthers were having to get into firefights on city streets against government agencies just to go buy fucking groceries.
Man, what'd you think? I mean, move what they did to them when they dropped. Man, listen,
They
when
dropped, what was it, 40 pounds of dynamite on top of a building because they heard that they had a safe room in there. What do you know? It blew open the roof, no safe room, and that sort of concussive force into an enclosed area in a concrete building, it destroyed those people. There's a reason why we don't use flashbangs or concussion grenades inside brick or concrete buildings. It kind of does a lot to the human brain, as in turn,
Man,
it takes its solidified jelly state and just turning it into jelly.
what's the young lady name, man? They killed her. The police raided the wrong house.
Breonna Taylor?
This was about some years ago. But yeah, you're right, Breonna Taylor. That's what I'm saying.
ATF, no knock warrant.
What's up, Max? Thanks for tapping in. Came in, and what happened? You think you have the right to defend your house,
unless it's them.
Yeah.
Hell, I was watching Donut Operator. He does police shooting breakdowns, right? Among other things. And some of them, you know, he shows police were in the right. Some of them he shows police were in the wrong, and he cuts them the hell apart. So no knock warrant, 3:00 in the morning. And this isn't her, right? This is another dude. And it's actual cops and SWAT. They kick in his door because he's a suspected drug dealer. He doesn't react. He goes, okay, this is either someone coming to rob me and I don't have nothing to protect myself, or this is the cops. They walk into his bedroom. They see him on his bed. His hands are out. But what do they see next to his hand? Something black and shiny. So they shoot him twice. It turned out to be his cell phone. No cops were charged. Whoopsie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't really, it's like when you really go study this whole thing, like, it's so terrible. Like, and people like wondering why. But see, the black community been experiencing this with far as police brutality. This is nothing new. That's why I'm like, don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to change. I do understand as far as and I think with the people missing, far as with the ISIS thing. And I'm gonna just say this:
ISIS or ICE?
ICE.
Okay.
I meant not to say ISIS, but the ICE coming in
for the
terrorist
immigrants. I don't care about.
Right, but what they gotta understand is, if you hear undocumented, and I'm not trying to be, I'm just telling you, if you hear undocumented, you know what I'm saying? If you're going by this, you know what I'm saying, how it is. If you come here undocumented, but if you come here documented, I get it. But what
you got your papers in order, you should be untouchable. Yeah, that's my opinion.
But this the thing. What other country let people come in and stay there undocumented? Let me know what other country gonna let you just come in. And
Mexico, part of their protests that they're having is actually because of American white folks going down there and vacationing pretty hard. Okay, fine. Another part of it is illegal immigration from south of their border. And they are rioting and having mass protest. But apparently it's okay for them to do it. But the second that we start saying, hey, if you don't have your papers, if you came here on a vacation visa and haven't left, if you're running across the border and doing X, Y, or Z, we're the bad guys.
Listen, I done seen people, Britain, the UK have got people banned from coming over there.
And
only gonna
don't
let
get me wrong.
Yeah,
these European folks that are coming over here the same way, especially Ukrainians, Russians, Georgians,
Facts.
the Balkans. If you're coming here and not documenting yourself as you want residence or citizenship, and you're staying longer than what you were approved for, they need to get the hell back out too. And, like yesterday, I believe you and Wintus were talking about the northern border. Okay, so not a whole lot of immigrants are coming from Canada, but a whole lot of drugs are. Why don't we have a wall to protect us from the drug trade from the frostbacks?
You know why?
Because the drug trade is beneficial toward the U.S. government.
Yeah. Don't you know they said listen, it wouldn't be no drug trade if Americans didn't like drugs. They know this. Why you think all of them, they want to send their drugs here? They know they have an appetite for drugs. And don't you know the American government know that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gotta go
of course the American government knows that. All right, so we're going to go back to Richard Nixon for a second, buddy. Richard Nixon was a big proponent of the Vietnam War. He happened to agree with it for whatever reason. Okay. There were two large groups of people who did not happen to agree with the Vietnam War and did not like the draft. That was hippies and African American folks. So what did he do? You can't make it illegal to be a hippie, and you certainly can't make it illegal to be African American. So he decided to target two of the narcotics. Well, one of them actually is narcotic that these people were using. Marijuana and heroin was a huge epidemic at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he started cracking down on those so he could harass those two populations, those two groups. And this is in his one of his department head's books. Henry Kissinger wrote this, a direct fucking quote. This is from the United States government. This is documented, and no one's batted an eye against it. That is a gross overuse of presidential power, executive power, to put down two populations who happen to not be politically engaged or politically, say, convenient at the time. Weird.
But this is the type of stuff that we have in these offices. That's just like with Margaret Sanger. People, Hillary Clinton plays her. Go read who Margaret Sanger is. Am I saying her last name right?
Sager.
Go read who she is.
Well,
go read what type of go read what type of individual she is. And let's
just go do a quick Google search on her real quick.
And this Margaret Singer. Did I Sager? I thought it was Sager. She started
Sanger, American activist.
Go read the type of individual she was.
Isn't she the one that started Planned Parenthood?
Facts.
And she was also a eugenicist and a massive racist.
Facts.
She set up most of her birth control clinics or abortion clinics in African American neighborhoods, trying to cut down on African American numbers and families. That woman.
That's who I'm talking. And guess who? And eugenics, right? And guess who? Guess who idol that was? Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Oh,
see, people keep forgetting. See, here it go. Look at this. Gates' grandfather helped fund Margaret Sanger's earlier work. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
here's a fun one. And just because you brought up Gates and his grandfather, everyone thinks that Gates is this self-made billionaire, right?
Right.
Take a look at who his family is. And the same goes for his partner, Steve Jobs, and the third guy who developed Linux. So all three computer programming grandfathers, basically, the fathers of computer programming, all came from rich families and all somehow met in New Mexico to make this brilliant step forward in computer programming out of a garage. I call bullshit. There was money from all three families there because they needed a boost.
Fact. Like that's when they say they got it out the mud. I don't be wanting to hear that. Oh, we got it out the mud. No, you didn't. You had help. Quit acting like they got it out the mud. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, let me see this right here. Oh, you want my foundation supports Planned Parenthood. The beautiful Deborah Luna, such a wise woman. I mean, but you know what? Oh, let me see what my beautiful cousin said. She said, "I'm learning right now. Don't mind me, and don't." I know you listening.
One thing. Take a look at what Shardy just said there. Oh, he's very corrupt, talking about Bill Gates. Take a look at what the Bill Gates Foundation has been doing in very, very impoverished nations. Take a look what they did in Africa, and we're gonna take a look at what they did in the Congo.
Oh my God! Come on with it.
All right. So they've been coming up with vaccines. Great, fine, dandy. I absolutely love the fact that they're coming up with vaccines for some of the most, how do I put this? Vulnerable people in the
Right.
world, right? Because you don't have malaria medicine on call like we do here in the United States. Hell, I was given 16 doses, like month-long doses of doxycycline before I deployed to Afghanistan. They don't have that in, say, the Democratic People's Republic of the Congo. So
Mhm.
he was coming up with vaccines for that. But you know what? One of the massive, and I do mean massive, side effects of that vaccine was
Come on, lay it on us. Lay it on us.
sterilization.
Facts.
And you know what? They found out that they could take that sterilization out very quick, very cheap. So this isn't a money issue. They still kept it in there. A lot of the COVID vaccines that they put into those areas, one of those has a massive birth defect of miscarriage. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other diseases that run rampant down there because these damn mosquitoes and X, Y, and Z. Hell, he infected several mosquitoes with some of these diseases and spread them out in populations. The Bill Gates
Mhm.
Foundation is one of the most evil foundations in the world, and yet we celebrate this man as a hero because he has billions of dollars and has the best PR firm I've ever fucking seen. Sorry. I've hated Bill Gates for years because this man has done so much evil into some of the most vulnerable people on the planet, and he's celebrated as some damned hero.
Facts. No, you're right about that. Okay, so this was my cousin. She said, so did we figure out if the attack on Ukraine was really about getting the land because Russia can't grow food or 10 animals on it, land,
Actually, no, 2021, late
its homeland?
2021, they found a massive oil reserve under the Odessa in Ukraine, as well as one of the largest rare earth mineral deposits, which the United States, Trump, just basically uh, 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 negotiated Ukraine's ability to fight Russian aggression with us getting those materials. Basically, we give you weapons, you give us those materials, or you can just start speaking Russian again. We leverage their freedom to our gain.
Yeah, it just say Ukraine is about shipping ports and oil. Facts.
Hmm.
Because it was supplying the European Union, really.
And Russia is one of the biggest grain exporters in the world. So I want to say late 2022, early 2023, there was an agreement between U.S. and Ukraine. It was negotiated through France, the UK, and the UN that grain exports going to some of the poorest countries in the world, Africa, Central Africa at that, would be untouched by each other's navies. Russia backed off on the written part of that agreement, but they still have yet to attack any grain shipments because, well, you don't want to be the bad guy that takes a country that is already having problems feeding itself, say like Somalia, and making
Right.
it worse. But they have reserved the right to attack Ukrainian grain shipments if they want to. But Russia is still out there shipping hundreds of thousands of tons of grain all over the world right now for massive amounts of profit.
Yeah, because when you got to think, that's what the West was fighting over. Who can control the minerals? Do you just what you see Ibrahim Torre did when you see him pulling back from over there, getting the West out?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know them countries like was it France over there, and they starting to go back to having gold. When you take your mineral, that's what they're going for because it's about the money. It's about the minerals, what they got. Your oil reserves, your diamond, you know what I'm saying? All the minerals that you
So
need is
almost
over
all
there.
currencies in the world, including the Chinese yen, no yuan,
Mhm.
because I heard yesterday China's economy is backed by gold. No, it isn't. All of these currencies are backed by trust. The only currencies that were backed by gold, we've happened to go to war with those countries in recent years because they did not have a central bank. Okay. So what does that trust entail? Either military might, the stability of your government, or the amount of resources in your land that you can sell and make a profit off of. But it is not backed specifically by having large amounts of those in your treasury. It's just the ability to sell them to make ones and zeros in a computer system. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Ain't nothing wrong. Sometimes you need to explain it. And I'm looking at new one said, get the real Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates. I mean, the Fauci, Bill Gates, big pharma and the global war on democracy and public health. Man, a lot of them countries are mad mad at Bill Gates stuff, man. Don't you know I think they've been getting kicked out, man. They have sterilized people, crippled people, mangled people. But hey, we got the Cecil Rhodes Scholar. People go get that. Man, what he done, he was treacherous.
Hey,
Cecil Rhodes. What's up?
We got to talk after the show. Looks like someone's using our name.
Again?
Yeah. I just got a screenshot sent to me, and it's talking negatively about Mr. Jed. I'm getting a link to it now, but I mean, guys, unless it has the current 810 News Media Group logo or mine, Mickey's, or Wintus's face on it, it's probably a scam. It more than likely is a scam.
So they're going all the way down to that, huh?
They're going back to that again.
Oh.
I thought I'd have to put that out there. Yeah, look at Rhodesia. And Rhodesia, horrible shit happened there. I mean, war crimes against humanity, if we're being 100% honest about it, right? Well, granted, some of my favorite firearms of all time have come from there, being used by both sides. You take a look at the stuff that was happening there, these small villages that having problems just feeding themselves, people would go in, usher people inside their homes, these small, very flammable homes, lock them inside and set fire to them to save ammunition. Like, every continent in the world has had major advancements over the past like 2 or 3 centuries, except for one, and that one keeps getting beaten up by everyone else for whatever fucking reasons. It makes no sense to me. Like, yeah.
This is
and if you want to see something out, who does that? Leave 810. Yeah. If you guys want to see something really interesting, read Puzzle Palace. And that is the start of the NSA. How did the NSA get its start? On a very innocuous day, I believe it is 1948, the presidential election. The day that the election was certified with all the fanfare, they signed a very specific executive order to start up a new spy branch that was answerable to no one. The NSA doesn't answer to anyone, doesn't answer to Congress. They can go in and answer if they damn well please, but they don't have to. Their entire budget is blacklisted, so you don't know where the money comes from, how or why.
Listen, do you know how many people has been jammed up from taking, getting a magical cure? So many people. I'm not saying, like, right now, I feel like the United States, Fauci, but that's what I'm saying. You know what? I knew nothing was going to happen to Fauci. You know why? Because look how people got poisoned here in the city of Flint.
He was the highest paid non-elected government employee in the United States. You don't get to be there because you're good at your job. I've known many bureaucrats that are amazing at their job. Dude, you get there because you have dirt on someone, you're friends with other people, and you have a family history. So no, nothing's going to come of that. When was the last time you saw a Rothschild arrested? When was the last time you saw, a Ford arrested?
Facts.
And the same with Fauci.
Yeah, you're not going to see, they not going to arrest their own. Only reason the old boy got jammed up, what was it? Who did that? The scheme, the Ponzi scheme. What was his name? Damn, he the latest one. He did the latest. He got in trouble. He got Bill Cosby. What's that dude's name? Oh my God, shit.
And people wonder why I drink and smoke so much.
Oh my God, what's that man's name? Bernie Madoff.
Oh, okay.
Bernie Madoff. Man, come on.
I was about to type in Bill Cosby Ponzi scheme and probably get hit with like 3 or 4.
But you see how they did. You see how they did the movie, because I watched the story on how they did. Like, his wife went back to a normal community. She had to get a job. Right. He stole from rich people. Bernie Madoff, and it was like But see, they don't play. Same thing. What happened? What's her name? Had the cook show talking.
She's best friends with Snoop, right?
I can't think of her name. Remember they got her for insider trading.
Yeah, God bless it. And she's Martha Stewart.
Martha
yeah,
Stewart.
best friends with Snoop.
How the fuck am I missing these names?
I mean, those two.
Listen, man, Martha Stewart, insider.
You or I would have gotten busted for that insider trading. At that time, we'd still be behind some bars right now. She was making some gourmet meals for.
They told on her though, man. All of them did insider trading. Who did she?
She was a sacrifice.
Who did she cross that they had to give her up?
I don't think that she crossed anyone. I think it was a show like, oh, we have to show these plebeians that yes, the rich can get arrested.
Yeah.
And so she probably volunteered to take the fall, and now she's more popular and richer than ever for it.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. They'll do these games. They'll play these games. That's what I'm saying. She went in. It's like they didn't take her fortune. They didn't take nothing. It's like, man, these people.
They didn't even recoup the money from the insider trading.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. She had to fall on the sword, but they told her, you're gonna go do this little 18 months. You're gonna probably do about a good 12. You're gonna come on home a billionaire.
Yeah, and her cooking shows, her everything about her, lifestyle magazine.
I love that. They say they got her because she used to be a stockbroker and she knew about insider trading. Wow. See, did nobody know she was a stockbroker? Look, she played the game because she knew the game. This is, man, listen, this is gangster.
But yeah, like, she's one of the most rich and powerful women in the country, one of the most known and celebrated in the country. They're like, all right, look, we have to arrest someone rich. We have to arrest someone well-known, and it preferably if they're white this time. So, Martha, you're going to answer the call? Oh, yeah, you're going to get book deals galore after this. And you know what? We're going to make sure you're best friends with this guy here who has a younger following. So when your followers, Miss Stewart, start to die off because they're in their 60s, 70s, and 80s reading your home decor, now all these young kids are going to start looking up to you thinking that you're some gangster granny.
Yeah, I'm with Yogi G. They gave her some street cred.
That's what I'm saying.
They put her with Snoop Dogg. All of a sudden they put it. Just look how Snoop got to get in there. He get to move around. He had known smoking weed. Don't get me wrong. I grew up on Snoop. Like Snoop, I like his old music. I don't really listen to him now. Look how Snoop get to move around. He get to go to the Olympics. He got to do this and that. You know what Snoop not talking about? What's going on? Snoop can't say nothing. He can't build no industry for his own. He can't say, look, this what I be saying. I know people with the blacks who got money, some of these factories that's closed down, why didn't none of them try to buy them and open them up and do business? You're going overseas doing business over here. Why you don't want to do none of that stuff? You know what I'm saying? But they get caught up in, hey, they paying me. I'm getting this money. I can go around here. Hey, look, y'all, I get to smoke weed. Is that really what we want to show our kids? Like, listen, you don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking nobody, but is that what you really want to show them? Oh, we smoking weed. To me, Snoop is like a token. He they token boy that they can go around and say, hey, look, oh, he was a gangbanger. He was doing this and that. That's what I'm getting. Like, these are the people they put out to us in the public view. You know what I'm saying? That's really not,
take a look at all, not just, Snoop and things like that, but take a look at all of our supposed role models.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be a white mid-30s guy like me. Who's my role model supposed to be? Some rich dude running around in a sports car or whatever that plays sports, baseball, but he's an alcoholic, a drug addict, and a wife beater. Okay. Who's the older black population supposed to have as a role model? Well, they didn't like the ones that were actually organic and real, the people standing up and fighting for rights. So who do they give you? They gave you Snoop. This dude who was on death row for murder, got off, or I don't know if it's death row, but prison for murder, got off, got out, and became a rapper.
No, he beat his trial. No, he was a rapper. He was on trial. He was they just did the Chronic. And then
look at our kids now. Who are their role models? These folks on YouTube who make extremely stupid, silly videos of usually self-harm. I mean, hell, my generation, when I was a teenager, we had Jackass. It really does feel like they're trying to lead us down a path to being dumb. And these shows are promoted and shoved in your face time and time again,
Yeah.
but they don't have an actual organic growth or following.
No. Man,
No, these are artificial role models.
man, look at the people that they put. Listen, and that's why I believe where I'm with you, Yogi G. She said, "Who wants to be poor in America if you have to?" That's what I'm saying. That's how people get. That's how you get people selling drugs. That's how you
Yeah.
get people to you know what I'm saying, start doing things that illegal to get money. Because
And you
like you
know,
say, who want to live poor?
and you know the best way to stop the drug trade and most of the crime in America, like
Mhm.
100%, it isn't more police. Though granted, you could use police with some actual training, some patience, common sense, less trigger happy, right? Arrests do have to be made for people who break societal norms. But the best way to do it isn't through law and edict, isn't through cops or force. It's through economic prosperity. And take a look at what communities they like to keep from being economically prosperous. I can give you a hint. Larger cities have these, and rural communities have these. So it's usually the disowned, disenfranchised. Middle, inner cities, they want to keep people poor, keep people fighting, keep people getting arrested for breaking laws. Why? Because there's a prison complex that's privately owned. And then poor rural America, and I'm talking like rural, you got people growing weed without a license, which you might as well be just selling massive amounts of crack the way that they come down on them, or brewing not brewing, but distilling alcohol, moonshine. Moonshine is still a huge thing that'll catch you 15, 20 years in a federal prison. The same amount of time as you would get for murder.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
No,
But if you say you bring actual good jobs, and if you invest in those communities to where these people can make a living without having to go outside of the established norms and boundaries and laws, you would see 90% of how much of the violence in these areas is because people are fighting for resources where they're already scarce.
Facts. I mean, just look at it. Like I'm reading these comments when I was looking at it. It says there's money in poverty. Yes, it is. Why you think, and I'm being honest, why you think when they see a white man come in with money, why you think blacks go to running? You would say, oh man, I'm just telling you, they'll be running. You see a white man, I'm just saying if when they see somebody with money, man, they'll go run to him. Why you think it's so easy where they say you could be bought off? Why you think what you think come he bought off, he paid for. You know why? Because they know person in this high, and I get it. Don't
Be
get me,
serious.
huh?
A white man comes in with some money, who has some cash in those areas. Who the cops going to believe? The guy could say literally, this guy gave me a dirty look, and he could say, oh, he laid hands on me, he did this, that, and the third. Who the cops going to believe? The white guy with cash or the innocent man that he just accused?
Yeah,
Let's be serious.
That's why I'm saying why you see they can come in, because who you got to go to and get the job from. You know what I'm saying? That's like even with politics. Why you think these corporations can come in and like, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna come in and do business because eventually they gonna know if it's 90. I'm just using the city council because I know it's 9 on there, but it will be. It's 9 on there. All I gotta do is pick 5 of y'all off and get the mayor. Just imagine you a corporation, you business coming in, and you got 5 already. You got the mayor and the state rep.
Or Mickey, it really depends in that case because you got 2 options here, and whichever one's cheaper. 5 city council and the mayor, or if the mayor's too expensive, 6 city council. Because then you can just override him.
That's what I'm saying. And people get caught up. Man, don't you know why you think they want to go run? Let me go run. I got to go be around this one. He got this, how much money he got. Not saying what you got. They always, well, this person got this. Yeah, he got. It's not yours. Like, we sick, boss. That's what I be hearing. Like, dude, if they going to help you, they going to help you. And that's how you get to see certain people in politics locally. you would get to see how they get picked, how these people get behind this. Oh, this money get behind this people. Oh, they over here, they got to get, you know what I'm saying? When you got people who can come in, like people get wooed by, oh man, this man, he took me here. We hopped on this private jet, because a lot of people haven't experienced that. A lot of people get wooed by that. Oh, we went and seen Bob over here. Bob flew me around. Bob showed me all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Wooed me. If we do this, you can get this. Eventually, it's going to wear on you, because you know what I done heard so many people say, this job don't pay me enough. And what you think going to happen? This job don't pay me enough. Not that people already know. When you signed up for this job, you knew what this job paid. You know what I'm saying? But that's the excuses. This job don't pay enough. Then, when I started hearing people talking about this, because usually if you be like, this job don't pay enough, you try to move on to another job to pay more. But in these type of positions, that's when you can get the people coming in like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to turn down a millionaire.
I can give you a perfect example. Once again, when I was working at Amazon, the way Amazon treated its employees, it was a decent wage. Okay, you start at $17.50, and this was in Livonia, right next to Inkster. So the wages there are already low as hell, but the workload was rather high, and the way that they set the workload was an average. So if you have 10 people doing picking, so you drive their little forklift kind of thing around, except it doesn't lift the forks, it lifts your entire cab, and you're picking things. If the average is 90, you have some dudes who run ahead and some grannies who fall behind. Now, what you've said, it's unfair, but it has the appearance of being fair. Because Granny's always going to be a little bit slower than the young buck who thinks that if he works hard, he's going to get a promotion. You're not getting a promotion, young man. I'm sorry to tell you. You don't have what they're looking for. Anyway, so what they're going to do is they're going to recycle employees. Oh, Granny, this is your third write-up for not making quota. You got to let you go. And then you get some young ladies and young men, and they keep the fastest of the fastest, and they're constantly competing. So now you have this entire team where pick rate was 90. Now it's 140. And now you're just regular Joe can't keep up. And you're recycling all these people, but you got these fast folks still making the same amount of money. They're going to recycle you over and over and over again. It's a turnover rate. I think I was escorting at this time of year, actually, because peak just hit Amazon days, so peak season. This time of year, I was escorting 11 to 12 people out a day as a security guard. And that's just Amazon. Oop, you go away now.
Oh, I already seen. I knew you was going to catch me.
Yep. I need to go on to Twitch and do it from there.
Twitch. No, and a lot of our foods are illegal in other countries. I'm not,
our bread is not considered food. It's not even considered bread.
Our cereal, like a lot of the stuff pop do. Like, don't get me wrong, we just been so used. That's why we have, and I ain't gonna keep it too much longer. That's why we have so high in diabetes. You know what I'm saying? We know cancer. Like because like I ain't gonna lie, I've been come this week. I'm going on my third week with no sugars. I'm back on my diet stuff again, because I was wondering why I couldn't get rid of this midsection, so I had to cut my sweets off. I've been going on. I'm at 2.5 weeks right now. I'm going on 45 days, no sweets. That's why you've been seeing me on my water and stuff. I'm really on my workout. I got to get back this afternoon. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my 2 days. Like I'm trying to do clean. I ain't been eating at the 7 o'clock or none of that. Like, I've been really getting it together. Can't y'all see how my skin is right now? You can't see it in my face.
There we go.
I've been trying to clean my get it together, because health is wealth. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't been putting it on Facebook, but I've been in the gym on a grind. But it's been a daily struggle. You know what I'm saying? I had May was rough for me. I was eating bad, but I've been hitting the gym trying to even it out. Got any last thing you want to say? Say, why did Oprah build a school and you not? Hey, Linda Chilton, that's why I don't respect Oprah. You know what I'm saying? Like, she went and built the school, don't get me wrong, over in Africa, but she don't think the kids in Chicago needed new schools. She don't think the poverty in Chicago amongst her people is hurting down there. I'm just saying.
I got a couple of things about Oprah real quick. Number one, she was on a stage at the DNC saying don't trust billionaires. How many zeros are in your bank account, ma'am? So you're saying I shouldn't trust you. Understood. Got you. At the same time, one of her properties was one of the only properties not destroyed in the Hawaii wildfire. And she was calling for the U.S. government and for everyone else to start taking in these people who have been, dispossessed and have no place to go. Ma'am, you have several rooms in your home and you have so much property that you could quickly put up a couple temporary shelters. Why aren't you inviting them to your place? Why is it always on other people and not your rich ass to take care of the folks around you? But no, as far as parting words, I mean, we all know that everything's corrupt and crooked. And yes, we have a lot of criticisms of our own country. Right. The United States is not perfect, never will be, never could be. I will say that it is far better, at least in my opinion, and from what I've seen and from people I've talked to all around the world, still the best place for any of us to be. No, it isn't perfect. And no, not everyone's treated equally or fairly or right. But it's one of the few places in the world I don't have to worry about just a random group of people pulling up to my house and, taking me out and taking over my property.
And let me you done?
I'm done.
Okay, hold on. This is what I want to say. And let me say this to the person, whoever trying to bring us in. A10, we good with the INA and Jed though. Don't get it twisted. And I'm gonna still say y'all keep that brother in y'all prayers because y'all see what being an advocate is, like what you gonna go through. You see how even they want to act like we will say something. I'm man enough. If I had a disagreement with Jed, I would tell him when I see him. I don't, I wouldn't go make up a fake page and go say this and that. Like, I mean, I get there's a lot of cowards around, you know what I'm saying, that like to go hide up on the fake pages and take their shots. I really wouldn't be addressing y'all because really when you can't do it off your own page and you got to go up on the, I can't respect you.
Oh, it looks like Rich Corpus started this. Rich Corpus?
Oh, Rich Corpus. Mad, he got blocked. Oh, that fool there.
Him, and he's allowed a Chinese media company to start just posting randomly in there, but he's also taking shots at Jed, at us, and at certain members of city council. So, Rich, you're kind of a piece of trash. Keep our name out your mouth. Don't use our name, and I'm putting in a copyright report against you now. As successful against Liddell, I'll be successful against you.
Yeah, thank you, idiot. Like we care, like you can, man, go do your own. If you see that man, when you see that man, approach that man and say that, Rich Corpus.
Yeah, that's
just go. I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, I'm at all the council meetings. I mean, if you like when Jed be here, come up there and tell him that. It's easy to be from behind here talking shit. You know what I'm saying? You at the computer, you doing this in the comfort of your zone. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I'm easy to find. I'm at the council meeting. I'm at where it's at. You heard? I mean, if you really feel like that, say that to that man face. I respect it then. If you all that aggression you be having, we influence. I'll be at the council. It'll be back the 23rd. If you know what I'm saying, I'm in the grocery stores. I'm just saying, if you feeling that way, say that to them people when you see them. But I'm out. Peace, family.
Later,
and that goes to all of them. If y'all really feel, I know a lot of them be talking shit. Because if it don't bother me, I ain't going to say nothing. I let a lot of people say a lot of things. Don't bother. But then when I be saying them, when it be me and them, they don't be having them conversations. That's why I don't really be paying a lot of this no attention. I know people be doing a lot of stuff. They it's back to high school. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't.
Talk big behind your back, but up in your face, they smile.
High school, they high school. I do. I do this. Well, not do that when we see each other one-on-one. Peace, family.
We did not gather here to ask politely. We are here to declare with one voice that injustice has met its match with the people of Flint. This moment is not about one man. It's about every citizen. Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, and beyond, who has been ignored, mistreated, and silenced by the very systems that is meant to protect them. It's about every family
who has buried their pain in silence. It's about every child growing up in a city where power speaks louder than truth. We are done waiting.